We are at an interesting crossroad in marketing for real estate, specifically for the past years, where the construction industry and many construction consultancy companies that became developers or developers that were launched from scratch and started as developers are integrating communication, having marketing departments, are communicating their brand through different challenges.
This is Challenger Brands, helping you build better brands and businesses. Hosted by Illustrato, the brand development and creative agency for ambitious and audacious challenger brands.
Welcome to another episode of Challenger Brands, where we help entrepreneurs and brand custodians build better brands and businesses. I'm your host, Lalaine Benitez, Managing Director here at Illustrato, the brand development and creative agency for ambitious and audacious brands. And today is a special day because we have a marketing person in the house. You know, it's like we're a dying breed, Nathalie. Yeah. Our special guest is Nathalie Nasr. She is a powerhouse in marketing, branding, and luxury and PR. Nathalie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, and I'm excited to share all the information with our listeners.
Exactly. I'm going to pick your brains, right? So just for context, Nathalie is currently the marketing manager at Aurora Prime Investment Group, the group behind the award-winning Amwaj real estate development. And, you know, they are one of the fastest growing companies in UAE real estate in 2025. Nathalie has been part of the launch group and has been responsible for brand strategy and all of that. So she's got a lot of insights to share. Before being part of the real estate industry, Nathalie also had high profile roles at GMG, Kitopi, and she also co-founded, very interestingly, Food Site, the MENA region's leading food industry marketplace. So her unique expertise blends brand creation, customer experience, as well as market positioning. And today, Nathalie is going to help us discover why the market of UAE real estate marketing is so similar across the board. You know, why does every brand sound like everybody else, and how you can differentiate yourself if you're in the real estate industry. So welcome again, Nathalie.
Thank you. I'm glad that we're tackling into this specific topic now, because recently developers started questioning their strategies and their communication styles. And today, through our discussion, we will be tackling specifically communication strategies that real estate developers are adopting, specifically small and medium-sized developers, because for the past 3 years, we noticed that
so many
brands like were launched.
Yeah.
Like you go on Sheikh Zayed Road or Al Khair Road and you see out of 5 billboards or out of 5 hoardings, you have at least 4 or 3
Probably
real estate
even
developers.
More, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, just to give context to our listeners and our audience right now, this is how our conversation started, Nathalie and I was telling her, just driving across Sheikh Zayed Road, and then you see that every other brand is redefining luxury. Every other brand is elevating towards luxury. So if luxury is supposed to be exclusive, right? But everybody talks about luxury. So what does luxury really mean now? And what does it mean for the brands?
Exactly.
Yeah. Nathalie, can you give us like a view of the state of UAE real estate marketing, on the communication front? How's it looking like? We've talked about the similarness. Yeah. Paint the picture.
We are at an interesting crossroad in marketing for real estate, specifically for the past years, where the construction industry and many construction consultancy companies that became developers or developers that were launched from scratch and started as developers are integrating communication, having marketing departments, are communicating their brand through different challenges. So currently in the market, we have stunning visuals. We have budgets, huge budgets that are being dedicated to communicate the message or to launch the projects and to set the positioning of the brand. But what we notice is that we lack a distinction in the communication strategy and style of the developer. There is no right and wrong, but there is a better way to do things. And there is no better place to question this and do it other than in Dubai. Like, it's a cosmopolitan place and you have different nationalities, and the real estate industry is a booming industry and it will keep on growing. So when we say distinction in the communication style, it means like, I'm gonna give you examples. So we notice, if you only go on the roads, no need even to visit websites or all of that, you're always talking about luxury. You're talking about elevating.
Everybody.
Elevating.
Exactly.
You're talking about standards. You're talking about crafted for you, dedicated for you, luxury
Curated.
in a different way,
Curated.
vision elevated, curated. So you feel like when you look like at all these brands, you ask your question, Tab, what does make this developer different than the other developer? What am I buying? Okay, all of these developers may have good quality, may have spacious apartments, may have good payment plans and good prices, but like, what is
what are
different?
You buying?
What are you buying? So
exactly.
Here the question would be, how can you as a developer make the buyer or the potential buyer or even the agent who is an essential part in selling your product, which is the unit, the question would be, how are they feeling? So we're tapping into feelings.
Exactly.
We're selling feelings and experiences rather than a floor plan on a paper.
Exactly.
And this is where brands started adopting sensory marketing to differentiate themselves, but still it's at its early stages.
It's at the early stage. I like what you mentioned earlier, that in real estate, because it's so competitive right now and there are big budgets, this just goes to show you that budget is not everything. Just because you have a big budget, it doesn't mean that your communication or your branding or your advertising campaign is going to stand out, right? Especially if you're not tapping into the feelings, right?
Let's take an example here. For example, if we're launching an outdoor campaign, outdoor media on the roads, and we're taking specifically this example because this is the easiest example for people to notice it on the roads. If you launch like all over Dubai at a specific period, and you dedicate a budget of 15 million, 20 million, okay? You increase the budget. But what are you actually saying? If you put only the logo with a background color and you put the slogan, or you put a picture of your project only with the sales information, what are you saying exactly? Who are you? Like, if you imagine each developer is a person, and we need to draw the customer persona of this developer, who would be X or Y or Z?
Definitely.
Why I would buy from X this year, next year, and the year after, especially if I'm an end user. Because if you're an investor is something, and if you're an end user is something else. If you're buying it to be an end user or an investor, these are two different things that will affect your buying decision.
One thing that I noticed, and we know this not only in the real estate industry, we know this also from other industries like, fast moving consumer goods. These brands that have big budgets to buy these billboards, not all of the brands would spend enough money or invest in actually getting the right message across. They would invest on the billboard, but the messaging, the production of the ad itself is something that comes as a last priority, because for them, once you put it on the billboard, then that's it. You've made it, which is not true, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So
So there's an importance of investing as well on creative aspects,
Yeah,
so with creative
definitely.
agencies
Yeah.
and come up with communication strategies.
Yeah.
This communication strategy is a long term and it's not hit and run at all, or it's
Yeah.
not on the short line only for this campaign, because like, what is the vision of
Yeah.
this developer?
Otherwise
What
you're
is their
wasting
mission?
money, no?
What is the purpose?
Yes.
The purpose define your why.
Yeah.
And this is very essential.
Yeah.
When you're tapping into your why, even your slogan can be born from your why.
Exactly.
There are few developers out there, they are saying, for example, we are building with purpose, and they are connecting it with a specific purpose they are giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Or being inspired by the buyer or by the
Yeah.
person who would live there, and they would curate in their projects before launching it customized or personalized services at the apartment. So here, for example, you see that they are still selling luxury or mid-luxury or ultra-luxury, but they are going beyond this. They give you the look and feel of luxury without saying it
Yeah.
boldly, because luxury is visual first.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have with the visual branding first. You don't have to say it.
Yes,
And it
exactly.
can be exactly. You
Right?
don't have
If you're
to say
luxury, you don't have to mention that it's luxury.
Yeah.
Precisely the point.
Exactly.
What do you think are the most common mistakes that real estate marketeers are committing in the UAE? Can you point out some of the mistakes?
First thing that we might notice as marketeers in the real estate industry is that the focus is on inventory rather than on identity. Because real estate or construction is focusing heavily on operation and on sales. And there were few fake beliefs before that you don't need marketing, you would need branding. Why to spend much on marketing?
Yeah.
And with the effort of the sales team and your network, you can sell. You just need to have a good ROI for the unit that you're selling, or if it's for end user, you need to have proper location, amenities, offerings.
Yeah.
So first point is focusing on inventory rather than the identity. I will go into it further. And second point would be over-promising. And I don't know if you notice this.
Yes.
Like in our communication, many times we're over-promising, especially if it's an off-plan project and not ready to move in project.
It's a dream.
Yeah. You're still at the stage where you're selling the vision, not the reality, and people are buying on papers. So it has nice visuals, it has amazing interiors, but is it real? Like, and if everyone is doing it and over-promising, then why would I buy from X developer or Y developer? What would be my reason? And here we go back to the purpose, and if we're connecting and the feeling that we are buying or the experience that we are buying. The third point would be not communicating properly the brand essence and identity to our sales team. And
that's very
the
important.
sales team or the agents are that are facing the client directly.
Yeah.
If they don't know by heart the narrative of the brand, then how would you communicate your brand USP or your brand differentiator to clients?
Definitely.
Especially if it's a brokerage firm and not your own sales team. Let's say they are selling for many developers, and you might have one bedroom apartment with 5 different developers, similar prices, or like the difference is not that much. Then okay, how would you differentiate? And all of them are selling luxury, but different mood boards and different locations, or it might be in the same location. Then how would you convince them that this is better than that?
And we're not equipping the salespeople for this.
We're not equipping the salespeople.
Sounds crazy, right?
Like properly with that. Or even if we're equipping them, we're not monitoring properly if the message that the marketing team would like to convey to people is properly delivered.
Exactly. You've talked about inventory, right? Inventory over anything else or over the brand. Like you said earlier, a lot of the companies now in this competitive market are coming from a construction history. They're previously in construction and now they're doing full-blown developments. So the mentality is a little bit different, right? It's more utilitarian more than brand led, right? Would you like to talk a little bit more about this? What's the impact of being very utilitarian in the UAE real estate marketing field?
It has an impact on the long run, not on the short run.
Yeah.
Because on the short run, you would still sell. It's not
because the demand is there.
The demand is there. You will still sell. It's not. But if your aim is to build a brand equity, and to remain in the market among the competition, then you need to distinguish yourself. And when we say focusing on inventory and focusing on operations, it means that, for example, what's happening with some developers is that, for example, you buy the land, you get all the approvals, you secure the logistics part and operational part, and then you package it with marketing. You don't involve marketing with the early stages. So that would have an impact at the end when you're trying to package it with branding and marketing.
Exactly. When marketing and branding should have helped from the beginning, right?
Exactly. So if it's involved since the beginning, and this is what was one of the learnings for many developers, and this is why I say there's no right and wrong. There's learnings and a better way to do it. And we're in an era now in Dubai facing this competition. It's about who will do it before.
Exactly. Who does it first?
Who does it first?
Exactly. Will your competitor do it before you do? And
Who
I
does
guess,
it first?
you know,
in anything.
And it becomes even more important, I think, when you're a company that's very ambitious. Say, even if you're a developer and you say, I want to be the gold standard of small developers in Dubai, right? So the more ambitious you are, the more you want to lead the market, the more share or, prominence you want, the more important this is. Yeah.
Of course.
Luxury sameness. I think as marketing people, we always challenge ourselves. The first thing that we think about, or one of the most important thing we think about when we create strategy, is how do we differentiate? So why is it that a lot of these developers are always talking about the same thing? Why is everybody just talking about luxury? What do you think is the reason for this?
If everyone is talking about luxury, then it's not luxury anymore.
Exactly.
It's become a baseline.
Yeah.
And you're in Dubai.
Everything.
When you think Dubai, you expect luxury.
Yeah.
It's
definitely
expected.
It is.
And most of the developers are positioned as mid-luxury or luxury. Let's be clear about that. We can notice it because it's Dubai. This is what's demanded in the market. Or else I would go to another country and I would invest where the investment the investment environment is healthy. So
by the way, sorry to cut your thoughts, I've also seen billboards for 600,000 studio as luxury against the branded residences. So it's very it's all diaphanous. It's all nothing is luxury anymore. But please go ahead.
Here the challenge is to make you feel that it's luxury in everything we say or everything we see or everything we feel and we experience at the experiences centers of the developers. Because experiences centers are a very essential touch point nowadays for many developers, and it is creating a difference, and it can influence the buying decision because when you let them experience how it will feel living in the apartment that they are buying off plan, they will buy.
Yeah.
So going back specifically to the luxury, so I think like most of the developers they lean on it because it feels like it's safer. It's a safer communication
Yeah, the
strategy.
biggest ones are doing this, so therefore I should do that
It's
too.
direct, safer, standard. Everyone is doing it. If everyone is doing it, means it's working. Until someone does it in a different way
Yeah,
to disrupt the market.
yeah, yeah.
And many started already doing that. So the risk of staying under this communication and staying in the comfort zone is huge.
Yeah.
I see it as huge for me. Why? Because when every brand say luxury, the word is losing its meaning.
Yeah.
Your expectation is losing its meaning. And as a viewer, even I'm not interested in buying, let's say. I see luxury. At the end, I'm like, what is luxury? Why luxury? Or I'm like, I'm tired. Khalas, enough. Stop talking about this.
Exactly.
Stop saying this.
Yeah.
Like, tell me something else.
Sure.
So I can connect with the brand.
Definitely.
Like, we need buyers and even agents to connect with our brands. So we have better results and better brand identities, building brand identities on the long run.
Definitely. I was mentioning to you before that we have done a category analysis on the real estate sector, and we really did see a lot of the communications move towards luxury, right? Are there any other common tropes that are super overused? So if we have any marketeers who are in the real estate industry, something that they can avoid. What are the other overused tropes?
Other than the communication?
Other than luxury, for example.
Elevating standards. Visionary something.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Yeah.
They talk about perfection. They talk about details. Crafting experiences. These sentences became cliche.
It is. They have become cliche.
Because
that's very true.
You can say it, but not in your main slogan or in your main campaign.
Yeah. And I think especially for smaller companies who are new in the business, if you say something that everybody else is saying, you're going to get eaten up. There's no chance to stand out because everybody will go for the biggest and the best brands out there, the brands that they trust already. So the more you use something that's overused, the lesser you can stand out.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So now that we know that these are the tropes, these are the overused communication strategies, how do we break from the herd?
This is Challenger Brands. Please subscribe to our channel and share our content. Follow us on our agency's social media pages, illustrato.co, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, or subscribe to our newsletter via our website, www.illustrato.co.
What's the way forward, Nathalie? What's the advice to people in real estate now? How can they make a difference?
The differentiation for them here, in my opinion, isn't about being louder anymore. It's about being clearer.
I like that.
Who is conveying
clearer, not louder
message. A clear message about who they are, who they would like to be, and what is the experience they're offering for their potential buyers or any stakeholder, so they can build their brand identities and their long-term continuity in the market. So you just have, as a developer, you just have to own the space and to create your own space. I don't know if you read a book that's called Blue Ocean Strategy.
Yes.
So you have the red ocean and you have the blue ocean.
Definitely.
We are in a red ocean in this market.
Yes.
So you have to create your blue ocean zone or find that spot where you are clearer and conveying message. If we take an example of a campaign, I can tackle 5 points that we can consider it as the Cold Star campaign, starting with having a distinct point of view in how you are conveying messages and revealing about the new project that you have and all the elements of this project. For example, what makes this developer overall or project different? How are we saying it in a different way?
Yeah.
The second point could be providing evidence and not just like adjective.
Yeah.
We are and we will do and we will remove and we will put.
What's the evidence?
What's the evidence?
Yeah.
Back it up with data, with proof, with benchmarking, with live lived examples, especially if it's not your first project and you already have a project that is completed. So it really helps.
Yeah.
And the show apartments really helps as well to strengthen on the campaign that you're doing and on your message. Third thing, it would be leveraging on the buyer journey and experience by providing like realistic experiences, whether using 3D integrated technologies, VR, AR.
Experiential. Yeah.
Go into experiential and integrate sensory marketing as well in that. And you can do this by backing up your campaign with the experience that you will have at the experience center. Because at the end, you need something tangible.
Yeah.
You are talking words and you are preparing the renders, animated and all of that. At the end, okay, tangibility. Give me an example of what I'm buying or how I will feel living in X place, or reselling, for example, this X place to a specific person.
Especially it's a major decision that people make. You're asking them to pay millions. You know, this is not a small purchase.
The fourth point could be like communities. Communicate about making the community visible. How can we live in a community? This is one of the points that you can differentiate yourself in. Like, it's not about living alone anymore. Even if you're living alone. There's people have more interest now to live in interactive communities.
Of course,
where everything is next to you. Everything, you can find most of the convenient things and facilities that you need at the main project where you are. And
you want to feel like you belong there.
Belonging. Communicate clearly the sense of belonging and translate it in your campaigns. And the last thing is consistency across channels. Say the same promise flow from ads to trainings for brokers when you're explaining about your narratives, to your sales centers, to the handover, to each and every channel or touch point that you are using. Consistency and standardization.
That's very
in
true.
Your message.
I mean, especially, you know, for us as an agency, we practice holistic branding. So it has to carry through all the touch points, because if your salespeople don't even know and don't even understand what the brand is all about or what you're trying to articulate and communicate out there, or even customer care, that's really bad, right? So it has to filter through. Let me go back to what we have talked about earlier, that, you know, a lot of companies still practice operations-led marketing instead of brand-led marketing. What's the impact of being utilitarian in this space?
The difference is simple. One is selling a unit and another is selling a sense of belonging. So when a project is operations-led, the story usually comes last. And when a project is branded, it's a branded project and it's led by the brand vision or identity. It's where you focus and you start with the vision of how life should feel and how life should be at the community or living there.
How can real estate marketeers leverage brand personality?
So to leverage on brand personality, I would like to use the storytelling element in everything you are doing, again, to strengthen on the feeling. Like everything we're saying, we're going back to a point where we want to convey the feeling, the emotion, and the experience because its impact lasts longer.
Yeah.
Because it's memorable. You will remember it. You may remember how it felt.
Yes, true.
But you might not necessarily remember what it offered.
Yeah.
So one of the examples of personality I would like to give there's one of the brands where I visited their experience center, and from the minute I stepped into the experience center until the minute I reached the show apartment, they were telling a story. I started with a story about the history of the brand, how they started, what makes them special, who visited this chain before of residential apartments. Like I could smell how does this brand smell. I
love that.
Hear how this brand sounds through their sonic branding that they have, and this specific sound that I cannot hear somewhere else. I was able to see and connect with specific items that are displaying it in an exhibition style, where I will never forget that this flower or that music instrument or this cutlery or whatever is related to the brand identity of this residential area. And then they mixed technology, where they made us as visitors realize how this vision of the off-plan project would be actually through the 3D interactive experience and the interaction that's happening between the actual physical model and that. And as well, I was able to see the story of the brand and all of the other projects that you have on a screen. And then you go into the show apartment, and here it's a full-on experience. Some developers might integrate, for example, a cinema setup to show you other videos about the experience and offering you a culinary item that you won't forget, and they will tell you, for example, this piece of cake is only available here. This flavor is only curated by this developer for X residents.
That's amazing.
And all the residencies for that developer would have the same taste, the same smell, the same look and feel, the same sound. So I can recognize it even if I don't see the visual branding. To have an identity and to have a personality, I should be able, if I hear on the radio the sonic of that developer, I should be able to recognize that this is true. X, this is Y.
It's really memorable.
Is Z. If I smell the scent, I should be able to know as well that this is not a luxury brand of perfume that is added here. Mainstream brand. No, it's the first time I smell it. The combination is different, and it looks like the identity of this brand.
I love that,
And even the material used in the show apartment.
You're forging a deeper, more emotional connection, and it's more memorable, right?
More memorable.
What's the saying? People remember experience. People remember, what you made them feel. What's the ultimate advice for emerging real estate developers out there, developers that are trying to enter the market? Is there any specific advice that you would like to give them?
Recommendations rather than advice,
okay.
I would say.
All right.
Starting with defining your DNA as a brand and defining it early while having a clear long-term plan. And what I mean by that is, don't start by unit counts or land sizes only and making it quantitative rather than making it qualitative, because qualitative is memorable. Quantitative, tomorrow another developer would come and would develop a project with higher floors, with bigger areas, acquiring more lands. If now you
More
have
features.
more more amenities, more branded and co-branded projects, then when I'm connecting it to the quantitative aspect, I'm limited. But for qualitative, they won't copy and paste.
Very
They will
true.
get inspired from my DNA, from the soul of the brand. And before going further, what should happen is each real estate developer should have a soul. The brand should have a soul. Work on having a soul for your brand. Not you
Very
should
important.
not be just another developer.
Yeah.
What is your soul?
Another developer selling
What is
units.
your DNA
Yeah.
stands for?
Exactly.
Second point would be building creativity.
Yeah.
Building credibility. Building credibility through proof. And this proof can go into a list of examples. It depends how I would like to show credibility. Would I like to be credible for being a long-lasting developer and well-established with liquidity and the power for investment, or I would like to be credible for my promises? For example, if I promise that you will experience community living in all of my projects, am I credible while saying this, or am I credible on each sales-related promise
Claim.
that I'm giving and claim across my projects? So they should like come up with a proof kit,
Yeah.
communicating it through
Yeah.
the communication strategy that they will have. The third point would be focusing on the design that impacts your well-being rather than just construction.
Yeah.
Because in the latest research, it was proven that aesthetic has a huge impact on
Yes.
well-being. So the space where you're living in, how it looks, and the area, the size of the area, has a direct impact on your well-being.
Yeah.
Especially that you're living there every
Yeah.
day or you're working there every day. So we should not market a building only. We should go beyond that. We should market the uniqueness of the design, the uniqueness of the view, the uniqueness of the impact of this design on your well-being, on your lifestyle. How can I
It's very
belong
important,
to
yeah.
a lifestyle
Yeah.
by living here or there?
Especially, I think more and more people are very concerned about well-being. It's a very important, USP.
Exactly.
Definitely. Well, that's a lot of information. I hope all of the listeners are able to absorb all these lessons that you're sharing with us, Nathalie. But I have one more question. As a marketing person, who has to compete in this very competitive industry, right? What's next for Nathalie? What are you looking forward to? What are you trying to learn? How are you sharpening your skills? How do you keep yourself, having an edge in the market? What's the secret?
Secret recipe, huh?
Yeah, what's the secret recipe?
The thing is, if I tell you like I know everything, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
My learning curve is always going up.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
every day I'm learning, and I expose myself for learnings. And what I like about how my career journey is falling, and some of the things happened without planning, to be honest. And when you trust the process and the opportunity that comes your way, things fall in place without you knowing, but you realize it later.
Definitely.
As a marketeer and a PR person, I learned that working for different industries is a plus. And it's not
It is,
disadvantage,
Yeah.
because there's a stereotype for marketeers specifically, and
a very good point.
And you face it with recruiters.
Yeah.
They say, I'm recruiting an industry specialist marketeer.
Yeah.
Okay, it will add value. But whenever you have a marketeer who's coming from a different background that can add value to that industry.
Definitely.
Because sometimes industries that are completely disconnected,
Yes.
no, you will lose time because that person would need time to learn about the industry and all of that.
Yeah.
So by combining your learnings from different industries, you can add value to the other industry.
Definitely.
And bringing a different point of view, a different perspective.
For sure.
Coming up with a differentiator. So for me is about always staying open. I have an open-minded view and mindset for learning new things, acquiring more things. So if you tell me now, tomorrow you have an opportunity, let's work on a new industry. I won't say no. Like, I would like to know more about it and to see how I can add. And as a marketeer, what really helped me is to not being limited to marketing or to PR. You have to be exposed and dig into sales, operations,
exactly.
brand management, finance. You should, whenever you go into a place, whether it's your own business or whether it's a company where you're working for, first thing for me, and this is, I can consider it's a secret for success. You need to understand the business by heart.
Of course.
You should spend like your first 2 weeks or 1 month, depending on how heavily is the operation, understand the business from scratch.
Yeah.
Go to operations, logistics, procurement, legal. Understand how is it working? What is the workflow?
That's great advice,
Collect as much information as you can about this industry, about this business specifically. And next, understanding how this business is generating revenues.
Yeah.
How does it generate revenue?
Yeah.
So you know, as a marketeer and PR person, how to influence on setting the objective, to know what is the objective of this business in order to reach financial objectives, and how you can help the company reach these objectives. Because for me, marketing and PR is the how. It's not the why, it's not the what,
it's the how.
It's not the when. It's the how.
Yeah.
We help businesses know how to reach their objectives.
Exactly. Yeah.
How
can you even put a strategy together without understanding the business, right?
You can never understand the business.
It's really important.
And it really helps when all departments are coordinating together and all departments are open to share information.
Exactly.
Sharing information is really important, and exposing information to analyze it and to understand how you can do it better. And for me, there's no a wrong way of doing things. There's learnings.
Yeah. That's a great mindset.
There's a better way of doing it.
Yeah. You can always learn,
Yeah. You have to try, especially in a dynamic market.
Yeah.
You have to try and you have to take the risk.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. This was so full of great nuggets of wisdom. So thank you, Nathalie, for your time. And I wish you all the best in, all your future endeavors. Exciting times ahead in the market and otherwise.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and for all this interesting discussion and these questions. I hope that our listener were able to have an overview about our experience and what we're facing in the market. And there's always a better way of doing it.
Of course, there's always a better way. So thank you, guys. And, just to sum it up, my favorite takeaways from today, okay, don't fall in the trap of saying whatever everybody else is saying, Make sure that you develop your own brand DNA, develop your own point of view in the market, and connect with your target audiences through storytelling. Like Nathalie was talking about, sensory experience is very, very important. And then on a personal note, do not stop learning. We learn every day. So thank you very much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Please subscribe to our channel and share our content. For more actionable insights on brand and business building, Follow us on our agency's social media pages, illustrato.co, or subscribe to our newsletter via our website, www.illustrato.co.